had this question come in the other day. As you know, in Yoga Business Explained, we have a whole bunch of scripts that you can use from everything from the information call, the enrollment procedure, it just goes on and on and on, the upgrades, etc., etc., etc. I had a client say to me, Master Charles, it sounds like it's canned. I sound like a robot. It doesn't sound natural. It sounds like it's scripted even. And I said, really? You've just missed out one point, because you're right, it is all of those things. It can be robotic and it can be scripted and it can sound awkward, but there's one other thing that you forgot to mention that it also sounds. You ready for this? It sounds professional. And most importantly, your staff will sound professional because they have a script to follow. And when they get very comfortable with the scripts, they will sound very, very professional. Those of you who've ever had challenges with instructors or staff out there, right? Not that any of you have yet, just kidding, because if you haven't had them yet, you will do when you start employing them. You have to script them. Listen, any Fortune 500 company, any company in fact in the world of any salt to themselves, as any net worth, they script and train their employees. They go through a dedicated training program and they have a set of scripts on how to answer the phone, how to meet and greet a new customer, what to say when somebody says X, what to say when somebody says Y. They are canned responses. Now, those of you that may know, I live and spend a lot of time in the Philippines. The Philippines is one of the largest call centers, cities, countries in the world. Why is that? Well, number one, they're English speaking, but number two, they're able to be trained and learn canned, scripted responses. And some of you can say, well, Master Charles, that just isn't me. That's right, it may not be you. But I'll ask you another question. How well is you working right now? Because the average yoga studio is struggling, is barely scraping by, barely making ends meet. And it's not because they've got bad instructors or because they've got terrible studios or because they are terrible at yoga. It has nothing to do with those things. Here's what it has to do with, ready? They don't have the correct scripts to follow. They don't have a business plan scripted and laid out for them so they can succeed. Well, they didn't have until now. Yoga Business Explained. I guess that was a pretty tough pitch for that. But I wanted to really appreciate the importance of using scripts and learning the scripts so they don't sound robotic, so they sound smooth and professional. Now let me ask you a question. When you first started your yoga training all those many moons ago, I'm sure the movements felt awkward. I know, having trained yoga myself recently and started, I know the movements are awkward. Or my back hurts, or my leg hurts, or my arms straight. It just goes on and on, right? In fact, the whole feeling of being uncomfortable is actually part of yoga in the beginning, until you understand to yourself, no doubt, I guess I'm not at that stage yet. Well, guess what? That's exactly the way you learn to run your business. So that it is scripted, there is a routine, there is a set syllabus and curriculum that you follow that leads you to success. It's no longer about guesswork. It's no longer about learning the next greatest yoga technique or strategy. That's not as relevant as learning how to run your yoga business professionally with scripts, having a proper system. So there you go. Why do we use scripts? Why do we use scripts in our business? It's real simple. Because you want to be a professional and you want to be paid like a professional. And most importantly, you want to provide your students with a professional service. Well, that's all from me, Leigh Charles, and I'm going to see you on the very next training. Good luck.